Hey, hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the show. I'm Joe, and I get to play host today. This is the absolute best part of my every week. Today, I have the honor and great privilege of spending some time with Dr. Greg Peterson, president of, and I still need to kind of work this out a little bit. It's not habitual yet. Salt Lake Community College. Greg, great to see you again, friend, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's got to be here. Good to see you, Joe.
You are a busy guy and really appreciate your time. I need to point something out right out of the gate, something quite obvious to me and the folks that have bumped into you. You're a healthy dude. You, you are just a really, I pride myself, honestly, and I hope this doesn't come out wrong, but I pride myself. It's just my own sense of duty and care of being the healthiest guy in the room. And if you're anywhere close, I'm like, I'm renting space from you, dude. Hey, fitness, strength, has that always been an important part of your lifestyle, Greg?
So, yeah, but more so when I moved really into administration and more the executive level, it became my self-care, like just stress management tool.
Yeah.
And then it's just really kind of built into that lifestyle. And I don't go for self-esteem. Like I was at CrossFit this morning and I thought, why am I here? Uh, um, so
Who doesn't go to CrossFit and have that question? Well, you're not exempt. I mean, you're not exempt from the pressures and of your peers that are running hard and lifting really heavy things. It's that how do you maintain those routines, isn't it? Those exceptional health routines, because
yeah.
none of us strap it on and like, I'm excited to go today. I know you eat squeaky clean because we've shared some meals together and I feel bad when I eat across the table from you. Except for dark chocolate, folks. Dark
Right.
chocolate, that's the way to take this guy out. And you work out daily, if not like a couple times per day. They're habits, aren't they? These
The
are habits.
habits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Like
don't
my
even
days
think about them.
My day starts. My day starts at the gym, right? And that's because I've also learned I can control when my day starts. I can't control when it ends.
Yeah.
And so I front load it.
So those routines, those personal routines, we'll get to the work here in a minute, but I think these are topics that are I think they're essential to be able to talk about with people like sitting in your office, right? We got to stay energized. We have to stay creative. We have to just stay open and productive and effective and all of that stuff. And all the science would say, well, you better work on you in order to do that really well. So you said you start the day. It's but walk us through the day. The abundant life of Greg. What's it like to be you, Greg, on a kind of a day-to-day basis? What does it look
Yeah.
like?
So probably the night before, I prep my food for the day because I'm not a foodie, and so if I don't have it on hand, then I tend not to eat until I get hangry, and then that's bad. So
Angry.
prep my food in advance. I'm up at 5 in the morning and over to the gym. I do a little meditation and then work out, and then come home, uh, take the dogs out, feed them, and then head to work. So I try to get in a little bit before 8, and then I don't know what the day will lead to.
Yeah.
Um, then try to get home at night, build in time with my boyfriend. He is a foodie, and so dinner is always a good thing. And
Winning.
then build time in for stretching so that we do active things together.
Yeah.
Um, the and then for me, it's important. So I read a student research poster yesterday, some research our students have done on sleep. And so
Mm.
really making sure that I'm doing things in ways that help me sleep better because that's so key to our health.
I appreciate the fact that you talked about sleep because it's almost like a badge of honor. Like I get up at 5, I go to the gym, I slog it out at work all day. I'm running really hard. We're doing really important things. I'm making incredibly important decisions. I get home, I prep for the next day. And oftentimes that leads us too far into the night where that sleep hygiene tends to be that thing that, well, someday when I slow down, well, I don't know anybody that's doing that yet. It's the last
Mhm.
thing. It's the last thing to adopt into a practice. And the research would say, and I'm not an expert here, but I've read quite a bit as well. You could be working out, eating squeaky clean, and doing all the right things, but if you don't have sleep, it's almost like it that dematerializes all the good things that you may have done in
Right,
that week.
right. It
Wow.
really, it really, like your body can't process and absorb all of those good things if you don't give it time to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'm rereading a book called Authentic Happiness. Martin Seligman. He's been around. He's kind of foremost author in this. I see you, brothers. I read through this. You're one of the most joy-filled leaders that I've ever had a chance to observe in the work. You really love what you do, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, it shows. Where does that joy come from? That happiness, joy, contentment, peace, whatever you want to call it, that's in the center of Greg, because it drives everything that you do.
I think it's purpose. I think it's the
Mhm.
ability to do good, and to have an impact, even in small ways that I know will trickle out in larger ways in the lives of individuals. I'm a systems thinker, but at the heart of every system are people, and so how uh, that the joy in being able to make one life better or make multiple lives better. Um, I think that's powerful.
Mhm. Mm. Like I said, I've seen it. It's palpable when you walk into the room. That care, that purpose. It's like one of those big heavy dumbbells that you drop after a macro set. Right? It's just felt. It
Yeah.
just felt. And when that joy is a habit, we know this. Love is the reflex. Love for the students that you serve, love for the staff and faculty, love for your purpose, love for your mission, love for where you're going, love for all the cool things your state is probably hopefully embracing around education these days. If not, let's save that for another time. But I know that you have your dukes up for your students. And internally, you're probably the new guy that walked onto campus, and people are going, this guy's a little different in a good way. In a good
Yeah.
way. So for the 5 people out there that don't know much about Salt Lake Community College, give us your pitch. Yeah, just kinda you are the new guy, but you've got a new campus, your community. Just share, in 2 minutes or less, just some
Yeah.
of the highlights that you get to be a part of there.
So Utah's interesting. We actually only have two community colleges in the state. Salt Lake Community College is the large comprehensive with over 50,000 students annually, that we across the board. So we do all of our transfer, huge transfer partners in state, as well as we have a technical college that lives within us. So full comprehensive programs, from entry into certificate in welding, into uh, aviation maintenance, all the way into health sciences, into engineering, transferring into business. So full gamut. In a community, we're urban suburban. So
Mhm.
there are 1.8 million people in Salt Lake County. We're the largest epicenter of the state. So it's
Wait a second.
really
Wait.
cool.
You moved from the fastest growing city in America to one of the other fastest growing cities
Yep.
in America. That that's quite exciting.
Yeah, there's so much opportunity, and then just the diversification of our communities. So uh, the opportunity for us to think differently about who we serve and who's
Mhm.
coming, who's migrating into Utah. It's a cool space to be.
Is there one particular, I mean, just from a demographic side, that growth, is it coming from a particular place in geography, or is it really just a scatter shot of various channels of people coming in from various directions?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of in-migration from other states,
Yeah.
a lot of movement to the west and into, I mean, I think with our history with the Olympics and then the upcoming Olympics, there's a lot of visibility for Utah and just the beauty of Salt Lake
Oh
and
my
what we
gosh,
can
my
offer.
favorite airport to fly into, it just takes your breath away.
Oh, it's gorgeous here. And then there's also a lot of international. So we have a large refugee population. So there's a commitment of Utah really to support the needs of the world. and what we can do. So it's a cool space of who you get to meet and interact with that you wouldn't necessarily think of when you think of Utah.
Wow. Wow. Well, keep bragging away. This is a great soundtrack to be on right now. You're definitely on the move. What are some of the more exciting initiatives that you currently have underway? Could be programming, could be new ways of engaging students. Brag away.
I think we're really excited about our continued growth. So when we look at the decline, the enrollment dip that most of the nation is facing, we're continuing to see growth, and we're seeing it across the board. We're seeing it in not only concurrent, where that's happening a lot nationally, but just our undergraduate population continues to expand. Our partnerships, we're seeing more transfer than I think a lot of institutions are seeing growth in. And then lots of growth in the technical college programs, just and a lot of returning adults. So that's a cool space of being able to partner more with our communities and with our businesses. A lot more work-based learning than I've seen before.
Talk about partnerships. I mean, economic development has to be just alive and crazy well. 1.8 million people in your community, and most of them gainfully employed or looking to be gainfully employed. Talk about some of the just really cool partnerships that you have going on as well.
Yeah, so one of them I love is with Stadler Rail. They're the ones that are making the electric trains in California, for example. Like huge company, they're a Swiss company, and they brought over the European apprenticeship model. So we actually have high school students in their sophomore year who go to work for Stadler. They get to experience different aspects of the company. They're paid to go to school and complete their associate's degree through us. So, and this is in manufacturing. So they can land in areas like human resources, other aspects, but primarily their focus is on manufacturing. We have students who were part of the creation of these new electric trains in California.
That
Like
is
their
amazing.
fingerprints are on those.
Ground floor.
Yeah.
Somebody's still on their parents' cell phone plan and contributing.
Right, right.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, let's shift this on track a little bit. On the show, we do talk to practitioners about some of the hot challenges that they are facing as well. And again, you're not exempt. From where you sit, Greg, what are some of the hottest issues just facing higher education today? And how is that interfacing with you and the crew at SLCC?
So I think so for me, change. Um, we've been institutions that have been very static, very stable as we think about kind of how we fit. And our world is changing. So confidence in higher education um, overall is down. Um, the enrollment, so how we have traditionally brought students in, those enrollment pipelines are changing across the
Yeah.
nation. The expectations of our students. So when we talk about 2-year, 4-year, our students aren't thinking in that long of term. They need something quicker. They need something. They're worried about money. They're worried about relevance. So I think just the pace of change and the pressure we're experiencing to reinvent ourselves to remain relevant and meeting the needs of our communities um, is hard on institutions that have really seen themselves as more stalwart and stable. Um,
Right.
that disconnect, and we're feeling it here. Conversations about um, politics and the larger federal conversation, national conversations around how we value higher education, what do we expect of higher education, um, that creates even greater uncertainty. So in institutions that we're trying to transform to be to meet the current times, to be ready for artificial intelligence, to be ready for a shrinking global world, um, the and then we've got this uncertainty and fear that really is pervasive in our communities around us. Um,
Mm.
it's how do we navigate? How do we move our institutions forward? How do we stay focused on what we can control and what we can do and the impact we can have, and not be paralyzed
Yeah.
and just all of the unknown around us.
Yeah, because that can create that culture of fear and scarcity. And let's go back to kind of how we used to. I mean, the human brain is just engineered to do that. And
Yeah.
as I know you are a very innovative, creative, entrepreneurial type of mind that has now entered this campus that is, you're still one semester in, probably doing a ton of discovery work right now.
Yeah.
What is, but also what could be, what could be. And I think that's where the gold is for you and your future there at SLCC. You were going to say
And
something.
as I say, so much of our work in that space is really about storytelling. Right?
Mm,
It's helping our institutions see a future, see hope, and be able to focus on that. Yesterday, I was in a meeting and we talked about the Disney movie Encanto, right? Where you've got this grandmother who does everything possible to protect the magic in her house against all change. And ultimately, she's unable to. And people are hurt along the way, and she loses the house. Um, we in higher education, we want to protect the magic in our house,
mm.
but we have to do that in a way that adapts to the world around us, so that we don't lose that magic in our resistance to change.
Well, I can't think of anybody better to actually restore. It's not that you're bringing the magic. I think it's probably finding the magic that's
Uh,
it's already there.
Already
It's
here.
it's already there. So for your peers who are coming in for a landing here, they're running fast. They're trying to occlude gaps and do all the work that must be done. Any words of encouragement you can stay, maybe even on that restoring the magic theme, just encouragement, wisdom. I mean, you're a seasoned college president now, and um, from what you've seen, what you've experienced, maybe somebody that isn't as experienced, a piece of advice that you might be able to give to our viewers today, Greg, before we wrap up.
I think that, so having lived through the pandemic, leading an institution, I think that it really is about the power of hope and how our institutions really look to us for hope. That and that's not that we shouldn't be real. Um, we need to be true to what we're experiencing, but that there is good, um, that there is a future that we can impact for the better, and that together there is opportunity there that we can believe in the better that we do. And I think as leaders, the more we take the time to express that hope, um, that that we really are creating the conditions for the changes that need to be made in
Mm,
productive ways.
yeah. I heard the definition of hope being, let's try again. And that hit me. I mean, we've talked about love already. Love's a fighting word. We're dukes up. Love is a fight. Hope is a persistence word.
Yeah,
Let let's try again. I mean, if you want to just move faith into this thing too, because we have to be able to lead through unsettled times, right? I'm not quite sure, but I'm clear about what's most important. You roll that all together, and it's let's try. Let's try again with our
yeah,
dukes up to truly love our mission, our everything that we're called to do. It's a privilege to sit where you sit. I mean, it is. It's a privilege to be working on a campus these days. I
yeah.
honor your work, Greg, and thank you for joining us today. This has been just so rich. I think one of our more just the depth and the gravitas of what we were able to get into today. So this has been the show with Joe, reminding you that everyone deserves to live in a community served by healthy leaders like this guy right here, who are building healthy teams and leading highly reliable systems. Hey, before we go, I want to thank our viewers. If you found any value in today's little jam session, hit the like button, do whatever the kids are doing these days, right? Leave a comment, share the episode. Please share the episode with somebody that could use maybe a little more hope in their day. But you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel. Greg is one of a stack of people that we've had the great honor of just interviewing over the last couple of months. So until next time, this is Dr. Joe, on purpose to cancel all things average. Peace and press on, folks.